boys and girls, students of the PBHP Dhamma class, all secondary students and youth members who have an interest to learn important life lessons. We are going to have a presentation entitled Superheroes Thoughts of Life Lessons. This is quite an interesting presentation because you like to see superheroes like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Spider-Man, and so on. So pay attention, but more important is to listen to the life lessons, the important Dhamma points. Now, this is actually just a presentation based on imagination. The superheroes are imaginary things from the Marvel comics. And they actually are great heroes because they fight for justice and help the people who are in trouble. So I was thinking of using my imagination to put in some very important life lessons that are in the minds of these superheroes. So this is a imaginative, creative work, right? So let us now launch the PowerPoint so that you can see the various slides. So let us see the PowerPoint. I think now it is not necessary to see my photo now. So now let me take off the video showing me. You should concentrate on the slides and the pictures there, right? So I think most of you have read the Marvel comics or you have seen movies made from these Marvel comics where they show you very interesting superheroes. I think you can recognize, like this one, is Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, I think, or Captain America. I've forgotten also. Then you have Incredible Hulk, right? And then also, of course, you can find Superman here also, right? And many others lah. So we are going to look at the slides. So let us go on. This is another of the cover slides. Now here you can see more clearly, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and then you have some also I've forgotten also. I think you have one is called the Green Lantern, I think, and many other superheroes. Incredible Hulk is not shown here also. Here you have Incredible Hulk, Batman, Superman, and this probably is either the Green Lantern or one of the superheroes. Right. Now let us look at the various important sayings or quotations of famous people, and then let us look at the thoughts of the superhero. This is what I put in. Firstly, we look at what Winston Churchill has to say. Now, Winston Churchill, a very important historical figure. He was the Prime Minister of England during the Second World War, Nobel Prize winner for literature. And what did he say? We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. So you see, most people will just earn their living, right? And then get the necessary money to sustain the families and so on. But there are people that do so much of charity. They give and they help. And these people are really special. So they make a life, they make the life very special. So Winston Churchill, one of them, right? Then this very famous speaker, I think he's a poet, you give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. What does it mean? Of course, it's good to do dana, right? To give, some money to the needy, food or material things, clothing, and so on, right? That is a good thing. But Better still, greater still is when you give yourself. You have selfless service to other people, like Mother Teresa, right? She gives her life for the peace and happiness of the suffering ones. These are the people that are truly great, right? So you start off with a little dana, then slowly you go on to greater things. And what does Superman think? He has this thought life lesson. When we always practice generosity, we will steadily grow in good spirituality. He is encouraging us to practice dana. When you practice dana often, then your heart, your mind, your soul will grow, right? With very good qualities that will make you peaceful, happy, not only in this life, but in the future life also. You grow, and for Buddhists, we grow in the Dharma, right? So that is this slide. Now, this Marcus Aurelius, a famous Roman, what did he say? He said, waste no time, more time arguing about what a good man should be. He said, be one. Now, many people, they argue, a good man should be like this, should be like that. He should be helpful, he should be generous, he should be responsible, he should be smart. All these are just arguing on academic things. Marcus Aurelius says, more important, be a good man. Be a good man with good character, good moral virtues. Then people will know that you are a good man. No point in arguing all those theoretical things, right? And then this was a president of America. What did he say? To educate a person in the mind but not in morals is to educate a menace to society. He is emphasizing the importance of morality. We just cannot just learn all the various subjects with a lot of knowledge, but we don't have good morals, right? Of course, now you study in school, secondary school, or maybe primary also, pendidikan moral. But the one is studied just as an academic subject to go for a test. Actually, morality must be inculcated. You must practice it. Your character develops, your virtues, the good qualities in you go up. That will be the important thing. If we just educate a person to make him clever and very knowledgeable, and if he has no morals, he may be a menace. A menace means a threat, a danger, a troublemaker, right? A bad person that causes harm to society. Why? No morality. So you see how important morality is. Now, let us see what Batman is thinking. His thought, this is Batman. Batman has this life lesson in his mind. Practicing good morality is needed to live peacefully. So in the comics and the motion picture, Batman will always fight against the bad people, right? The criminals, to bring justice and protect the innocent ones or the weak ones so that they can live peacefully. So it's in line, isn't it? Now let's look at the next one. Now, Dalai Lama, I think you know, right? A very important personality in Buddhism, got the Nobel Prize for Peace. Our prime purpose in this life is to help others. And if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. Well, this is very simple practice, but very important in terms of Dhamma practice. He said our main purpose in life is to help other people. Otherwise, you will be considered selfish, very self-centered. But if you find because of certain circumstances, you're not able to do much dana, you're not able to help or serve them, but at least the least you can do is make sure you don't harm other people. Keep your precepts. Make sure you don't hurt other people, cause them pain. That's the least you can do. But if you go further, then you go out to reach out to the needy ones or to serve them. And then another famous Westerner, he said, happiness is the only good. The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. The way to be happy is to make others so. Very good points of Dhamma. Everybody wants to be happy, isn't it? Right? Every being wants to be happy. Even the animals want to be happy. If it's threatened, you will be very, very scared and sad, isn't it? So you cannot say, oh, next time 20 years, then I'll be happy. No, you must train to be happy even now, right? And if you say, oh, if I can go to London, I'll be happy lah. That is wrong thinking already. You can be happy wherever you are. If you don't have the Dhamma or the wisdom, you can be in London, New York, or any other big city of the world or Disneyland, you can still be unhappy. And he says something very important. The way to be happy is to make others so. You find one day you will see this or you'll feel it. If you want to be truly happy, then you try to make others happy also. If you only think of your happiness and you don't bother about others, soon the happiness will go off, right? So this is a very important statement. Now, what about this Iron Man, I think? Right? So what does Iron Man think? The great is the one who is selfless to bring to others happiness. Very important. He thinks about the dana, to bring happiness to others, right? Selfless, not selfish, not self-centered. That's not all I was telling you, right? Dalai Lama offering selfless help to other people, just as Mother Teresa. So that is some Iron Man, right? Now Confucius, I think you know, very famous in China, Confucius. What did he say? By 3 methods we may learn wisdom. Now, wisdom is very bijaksanaan, 智慧啦, 智慧. First, by reflection. Reflection means we think about the important principles of life. We think about the Dhamma. We ponder. That, of course, is the noblest, the greatest, right? The noblest, the highest level of a mind, to be having a noble mind, not the ordinary one. So he does reflect on what is good, what is bad, what he should do, what he should not do. So that's how we can learn wisdom, right? Because you have thought about it already and ponder over it, contemplate. The second is by imitation, which is the easiest. You choose a person you like to imitate. Don't imitate the gangsters or the bad hats lah. Maybe Buddha, Mother Teresa, or some of the great people of the world, Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah, I want to, of course, as Buddhists, the best is to follow the Buddha, refuge in the Buddha. It's the perfect one, the fully awakened one. Then we slowly learn to be like the Buddha, so that one day you too will become the Buddha. So that's the second method, imitation. The third one is by experience. You don't know whether this is right or wrong, so you just go through life. Sometimes you fall, you meet with all those terrible things because you don't know, but you learn from the experience. Slowly you gain wisdom. Learn from experience, the problems you face, the trouble you have, and the mistakes you make. Then you become wiser. But it can be giving you a lot of pain, right? So you can learn the Dhamma, right? And then practice it, right? Follow the examples of the great holy ones. Then another one say, wisdom is having things right in your life and knowing why. Now, if you have wisdom, then more things can happen in the right way for your life, right? And you understand it. The person who has wisdom, he knows that there are things that he has to do in order to be peaceful and happy, right? Being able to know what is right, what is wrong, being able to know what should be done in order to make the mind more peaceful. All this is wisdom. It's not cleverness or intelligence. And it's through learning the life lessons. This one, you see some of the life lessons given by these famous people. Then you will have a peaceful, happy life. Now, this Wonder Woman thing, what does she think? The muddled and conditioned thinking hinders wisdom from arising. It means the confused mind cannot have the right view, cannot have the right thinking, wrong attitude, learn all the bad habits from the past, conditioned mind already. So doesn't know how to think in a proper way, wisely. He doesn't have wisdom. He just, maybe believe what he was taught, the wrong things also he believe. and brainwashed by some of those fanatics, then your wisdom will not rise. And when the wisdom does not rise, such a person can do very, very foolish and harmful things. I think you have heard of terrorists, right? Muddled thinking. So they become terrorists and then they kill people, innocent ones. They let go the bombs, even in places of worship, church or mosque and so on. So this is terrible, isn't it? No wisdom, right? They may be university graduates, but that is not wisdom. So you see how important to learn the life lessons and the Dharma, all right? So let us now go on to the next one. Now, Thomas Edison, the great American inventor of the electric bulb, right? I think you have heard of his life story, how he tried so hard, failed so many times, but he did not give up in trying to invent an electric bulb. And then he failed for hundreds of times, but he went on, hard work, determination, perseverance. In the end, of course, he succeeded, and today we have the electric bulb. So he made this statement, which is a good life lesson. There is no substitute for hard work. Or you can say, you cannot just say, I think God will help me. I think I'm very intelligent. That is being silly. It's only your diligence and your hard work that will help you. Right? That's why there is a proverb that says, God does not help those who don't help themselves. You pray and pray and pray, but you don't work hard, you cannot get success. You just pray and pray, but you don't study, you can get good results. Isn't it? Common sense. Then Winston Churchill again, right? What did he say? Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. Every one of us has this potential for kejayaan, a potential to be successful. So some people depend on their so-called intelligence, but if you don't put in the effort continuously, all the while very hardworking, putting the effort, then your potential cannot be developed. You'll be right inside, right? So if you have a good teacher, the good teacher will make sure your potential is realized by making sure that you always try and put in the hard work and effort. Don't think I'm very strong, my mind very strong, I have intelligence. No. Effort, determination, perseverance. These are the qualities that make for success, right? And this is Spider-Man, I think, And Spider-Man talks about Dhamma also, or he thinks about the Dhamma. He says, right effort will lead you on the path to happiness and peace in your heart. Right effort is one of the things in the Noble Eightfold Path, right? It's a development of the mind, the effort to make sure the mind has all the good qualities, good things maintained in the mind. If the good things have not come into the mind, make sure you bring them in, like a metta heart, loving kindness, or maybe a dana heart, generosity, kindness. Bring them into the mind. And all the bad qualities of the mind like greed, anger, hatred, delusion, all these must hapuskan, clear away. You continuously use this method. Put in the effort to train the mind. Then you will be going towards happiness and peace in your heart. That's a very important Dhamma point, this one. Right? Then, what does this say? Napoleon Hill, a very famous modern motivator. This is one of the very important things. Even in Dhamma practice, right? In general motivation courses, they teach this. Patience, persistence, and perspiration. You notice the 3 P's. Patience, I think you know. Kesabaran, nicing. Persistence means to always go on and not giving up easily. To continue on, not giving up easily. Right? Perspiration is just hard work. He wants to use P. Is actually industry or diligence. Right? So 3 qualities: patience, and then persistence, always going on, not giving up easily. Or you can say perseverance also. Right? And perspiration. And when you have this unbeatable combination of these three qualities inside you, then you are heading for success. And this also is in Dhamma practice, these qualities. If you don't have these three qualities, hard work, and then perseverance, go on, stressing, determination, and patience, kanti, then you cannot progress in your mind development. How can you become a Buddha if you don't have this, isn't it? Then there's another philosopher, European philosopher. Again, he talks about patience. I think you have heard many times already about this importance of patience. Patience is necessary, and one cannot reap immediately where one has sown. Let's say you have done something good, or you try doing all the good, then you say, still I don't get the good result. Wow, you expect like 3-minute instant Maggie mee. Our past karma may be not good, so we have to be patient. For some people, faster you get a good result. Maybe the past karma, right, not so terrible lah. Whereas for some of us, we may have done foolish things, bad karma in the past. Now we are doing the good things, so it will take time for the good effects to come, isn't it? So don't expect, wow, you plant a durian tree, 3 days later you can check, you expect to get the durian fruit to eat. You cannot, isn't it? You have to have patience. And different fruits will have different lengths of time in order to fruit, isn't it? Just as people with different karma, different time for the good karma to fruit. But you keep on doing it, it's not wasted effort, it's there. Matter of time, they will come out, the fruit will come out. So be patient, right? Oh, just now I think I did not tell you about this superhero in his thoughts. I don't know, who is this one? Is it cannot be Batman? Maybe also one of the Batman characters, the mask. Anyway, he's a superhero also, right? This one, of course, is the usual costume of the Batman. Great things cannot be achieved quickly. Yes. You want to do something great. You think overnight you can be successful. You have to put in the work. You have to be patient. You have to persist. You have to have perseverance. And he again knows that patience is need, undoubtedly. Right? It's a need, for sure. Patience is definitely a need, you see. So you have to realize this. I think there is a typing mistake. It should be patience is needed undoubtedly, right? I think I have made a typing mistake. And so this is all about the important qualities you have to develop, one of which is patience, right? I'll go on to the next one. Speak when you are angry, and you make the best speech you ever regret. This is a very famous motivator, also Dr. Lawrence Peter. In other words, if you are angry and you start speaking, usually lousy words will come out. You won't give a good speech, and later on you will regret that you have said the wrong thing. So this motivator advises you not to speak when you are angry, very angry, worse still, right? Calm the mind, let the anger go off, get rid of the anger. If you know the various methods which I have posted also, then you find the mind is peaceful, gentle, kind, then you make a very fantastic speech. The angry mind makes a speech that can hurt so many people. Then later on, you regret already. You think, why I say stupid things. Now, this one another famous motivator. It says, under all speech that is good for anything, there lies a silence that is better. Silence is deep as eternity. Speech is shallow as time. This is a bit deep, so I will just say something simple. You have heard of this thing called silence is golden, right? So there are times where we should not speak but remain silent, especially when the mind is not clear, not calm, and you speak, right? And you give lousy words. And then some don't have good, proper things in the mind, so they want to speak on and make themselves a fool. right? That's why they say empty vessels make the most noise or the most sound, right? So there are times where you have to remain silent to charge the mind, right? So I'm trying to make it easier because it's quite deep, you see, right? So remember, speak only when necessary, and also look at the circumstances, and then also your frame of mind, right, must be good. Then you can give good speeches, isn't it? And what about the thoughts of this Batman? He talks about the fourth precept, man. So Batman also knows lying, telling lies, slandering, speaking bad about other people, or speaking harsh speech, using harsh words, bad words that can hurt other people, and gossiping, right? Including giving rumors. This will cause much suffering, and not only to yourself, but also to other people. So this is an important precept, right? And Buddhists keep. Other religions also talk the same thing. So you have seen this one all pertaining to speech, right? And when to keep silent. This one also a motivator, or is it a writer? Determination gives you the resolve to keep going in spite of the roadblocks that lay before you. Now, determination, Malay word is keazaman, and Mandarin is dressing. People who don't have determination give up easily. They try on already, they don't have, that keazaman or that dressing. They say, yeah, difficult one. I think I give up, don't want to do how to get success. It's just like, you have obstacles or roadblocks and so on along the road, but you are determined to keep going and find ways to overcome the problems or the obstacles. Then only you can succeed, isn't it? So in whatever you do, you must have determination. Keazaman, dressing. And this motivator also says, let us not be content to wait and see what will happen, but give us the determination to make the right things happen. Some people, they may be a bit apathetic. They know that a situation is not good and they can do something about it, right, to improve it. Right? Maybe, the house attacked by, and white termites and so on already. Then they they don't take an active step. You must make up your mind and say, I'll do something to solve the problem. Don't wait until it's too late, isn't it? They are like tidak apa lah. Some people have that tidak apa attitude. That is not good. Be proactive and try to do the things that will improve the situation. For that, you must have the determination. Right? So you see here, he says, the Superboy says, determination is a must indeed if you want to perform well and succeed. Mesti ada keazaman. Dressing, you want to succeed. So that is this slide. Then next one. Henry James, I think a famous writer also. Three things in human life are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. And the third is to be kind. Actually, many Dhamma practitioners, many monks, Dalai Lama emphasizes on this. Ajahn Brahm also. Very important is to be kind. Practice loving kindness. No need to talk so much sometimes of all the theory, but you're not kind, not willing to help people. People will not be impressed. They will not be taken by you. But you are always very kind, very helpful. You have metta. Wow, people like you, they are drawn towards you. And this very famous British writer, author, he says, keep love in your heart. Here we will take it as a metta. Metta in the heart is very important. A life without metta is like a sunless garden. A garden where there is no sun. So when there is no sun, can the garden survive? The plants will die. There won't be beautiful flowers in it. The flowers will die and you have a dead garden. So it says, if you don't have metta in your heart, it's something like a garden without the sun. And Wonder Woman, again, what is in her mind? One of the great spiritual things is to spread love and kindness to all living beings. Of course, also she helps to fight against the bad people to protect the innocent good ones. So this is why they call superheroes. And this pertains to metta, isn't it? To spread good metta, which is very, very important, right? I have given a presentation of metta before already. Then this person, right? I think also either a writer or a motivator. I think a writer. Great tranquility of heart is his who cares for neither praise nor blame. This is a practice as a Buddhist on the 8 worldly winds. When people praise you, when people blame you, you will not react so much. Like for example, if somebody praises you, wow, your pride, ego goes up right to the rooftop, right? So next time, and then next time when people blame you, wow, you feel terrible, really angry, sad, disappointed, upset, and you may do something also. So the person who knows about this, sometimes you be praised, sometimes you blame. So you just acknowledge it and don't react, right? Okay, praise. Okay, say this also temporary, blame also temporary. Then the heart can be peaceful, tranquil, calm, right? Very composed, not up and down, right? And then this Indian Swami, Sivananda, he says the real spiritual progress of the aspirant. Aspirant is a person who practices, he aspires on the spiritual path, is measured by the extent to which he achieves inner tranquility. Now, to make it easy for you, I'm just stating here that is emphasizing on the mind to have an inner calmness, an inner peace, an inner tranquility, and inner steadiness, right? Very calm, steady, composed, concentrated, focused. That type of mind will be a very good mind, and you can make good spiritual progress, right? So that's the essence of it. Talks about the mind, tranquility, calmness. And then this Superboy, he has this very, very good thought, man. When there is equanimity, this is a very high quality. Equanimity means to be balanced, to be very sturdy and not easily shaken, right? Some people, you find very easily, something happens, the mind will react and the fellow will become angry or become very sad or he cannot control his emotions Whereas the person that has equanimity, he says, I will wash the mind. Things like this happen, but everything is impermanent, right? They will pass. So the mind is not rattled or swinging to dangerous extent, So in this way, he can act more mindfully, right? More wisely, because the mind is balanced. Once the mind karang kabut, like exams, I've seen some students, very good students, no. But the mind not very steady and calm. Wow, they see one point so difficult. Wow, they're very, very upset. We cannot do the questions properly. So you have to train the mind to be calm. And there is no shortcut. It requires a lot of training and Dharma learning. Dharma learning and understanding and practicing. Then only can develop this quality of the mind, right? So this is number 12. The next. Now, Francis of Assisi, a very, very famous spiritual person in the Catholic world, right? He was a saint, Saint Francis of Assisi. So he says, where there is charity and wisdom, there's neither fear nor ignorance. Now, this is actually very Buddhistic in Dhamma also. Two qualities are emphasized here. Charity. Charity we consider as dana. Service, helping, giving, generosity. All these connected with charity and wisdom, just now we mentioned. So when you have these two qualities, then the inner fear of the mind will go down. And of course, you have wisdom, then your ignorance will go down. Ignorance is kejahilan, right? Or tham qin si is the third one, I think. Actually, no. In Mandarin, ignorance will be wu ming, right? Wu ming. Not knowing the things, lacking in the wisdom. So we say these two. So remember, Charity, I think easy. Dana, you understand. Now, wisdom is a more tricky thing. The one you have to learn and practice, understand the Dhamma, right? In future lessons, maybe we'll give you more stories that can illustrate the wisdom aspect. Then this person, what did he say? Again, he talks about charity. Every charitable act is a stepping stone towards heaven. All religions talk about this importance, the dana. Christians say, oh, we must do charity, right? Muslims, they say, oh, we must have the zakat, right? The Hindus also, they have the type of dana. And Buddhists also, dana, very important. So you see, it's common to all the religions to help people who are in need, to serve, right? Not to be selfish and think of yourself only. So when you practice this, you are practicing your religion well, and you are stepping nearer to heaven. That's a very good message. So again, this one must be a Superboy or Superman. I don't know. The more you do charity and service, the easier it is to find mental peace. Very true. A person who is very selfish, stingy, miserly, right? Then he will not have mental peace. The person who is generous, the person who always helps people, then he finds the joy and peace. He can sleep better. He feels very happy that he has helped somebody in need. So you see the importance of charity. He who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have. This is from the very famous Greek philosopher Socrates, right? I think you have heard of him later, more than 2,000 years ago, in Greece. So he said this. He talked about contentment. If you are not puas hati or contented with what you already have, you're so lucky you have so many things compared to so many suffering ones. You don't even have enough food to eat, isn't it? Especially now, in this pandemic COVID-19 time. So you must count your blessings. So fortunate you are to have so many things, food, a house to stay, good parents, and then you have education. There's so many people in the world. I look at African countries, some of them, the children are so poor and really suffering. So if you cannot develop that contentment in your heart, then you say, oh, I'll be happy if I get this latest model of the iPhone. After getting it already, after some time also not happy. You say, I want another thing. So you never be contented, you never be happy, right? So, when we went once to Burma, went to the countryside in Burma, Myanmar, you find the people, they are simple, right? They have just the basic needs. They are farmers, they have their plot of land, everything, but they have a good degree of contented, or being contented, good degree of contentment. And they're peaceful, very nice people, right? And they still go and give dana to the monks. They are not rich, but they have food to eat and the house to stay, and they're very thankful really. Actually, I was thinking, wow, here you find their children wow, with all those luxurious things and every time still complaining and then after that go and drink take cigarettes smoking drinking drugs all these will bring you suffering right? And then this is from the Buddhist scripture. He says if you are holding on to anger, right? This is against anger, very dangerous to be angry. It's like grasping, it's like, clinging on or grasping, hold tightly, charcoal, very, very hot charcoal, red hot charcoal. And then you have this intention, you say, I'm going to throw it at somebody I don't like, my enemy. But you forget that you are holding it in your hand, you get burned, you get burned, and you throw, you try to throw your hand, it's so burnt and so painful. You can't throw properly. I think you also won't get the person. So you are the one suffering. The message is get rid of the anger, right? Conquer anger, very dangerous. And this flesh, this is superhero flesh, it can run very, very fast. When you do actions out of greed, anger, hatred, or delusion will be, wrong view, having the wrong view. People who are deluded have wrong views. They're also ignorant, right? But they have the wrong view of things, the wrong attitude. then what will happen? You will get into mental states. Your mind will go into states of suffering and confusion. You are not clear, right? Your mind is not calm and focused. Very, very restless, very confused, and then you don't know what to do and do the wrong thing. That is this suffering that you get if you don't try to check or try to get rid of this greed, anger, hatred, or delusion, right? So these are the important points here. Now, is it laziness grows on people? It begins in cobwebs and ends in iron chains. The more one has to do, the more he is able to accomplish. Now look at this. Let's talk about laziness. And many people have this bad habit or bad trait. Just not hardworking, mental laziness. So they say, "Ayah, no need to do this one first lah." Her mother asked the fellow to help in the house also. Lazy, lazers around, all this, right? So it starts off like this lah. So it's just like the cobweb, right? That you're trapped in the cobweb, the spider cobweb, But if you don't get out of it, then it becomes very, very strong, this laziness inside us. It will be like iron chains now, that bind you on something which is not good, right? They bind you, you're lazy, you don't want to do, you're lazy, don't do anything. Now, if we want to achieve or accomplish, I would say, attain or get certain things like success in our studies or success in our Dhamma practice, then we have to do more. Basically, it's talking about we have to be more diligent, more hardworking, put in more effort. So same point as just now, right? There's a Norwegian proverb from Norway. The lazier a man is, the more he plans to do tomorrow. You know of the proverb. Procrastination is the thief of time. You ask him to carry out this work, it's needed all this. Okay lah. Then say, tomorrow I'll do it lah. So when tomorrow comes, he say the next day lah. So he keeps on postponing because he's lazy. He should do it, right? So you keep on postponing or procrastinating, then you may forget or you might not be able to meet the deadline, and then get stressed out. I don't know. All my life, I don't procrastinate, right? Even the task, I try to finish it, then I move on to something else. Because if you procrastinate, that means that you put off the thing until another day and so on, you may forget, isn't it? So it's good to carry out the task punctually, with responsibility or duty, and not be mentally lazy. And this person has given a very good Dhamma point. He says, this one should be Iron Man model or what, toy. When one is overcome by sloth, torpor, or laziness. This one, sleepiness and laziness. Sloth, again, very, what I call it, sluggish, lazy also. And then always sleepy, torpor, right? So all these connected, So how can you progress? You cannot progress in whatever you set out to do, right? Your worldly things, or your studies, your work next time, or in Dhamma practice, you cannot progress on the path. The path is the Noble Eightfold Path. So how can you attain peace and happiness? We are always conquered or overcome by this sleepiness, laziness, sluggishness, right? Not religion, then you cannot make progress. Right? Either in the spiritual side or even the worldly things, right? So you see, these are very important life lessons, right? So I just make it a bit more interesting by introducing the superheroes, but the important things are the life lessons and the Dhamma messages. Now, this is talking about the truth, right? This Ralph Waldo Emerson, writer, thinker also, right? Every violation of truth. That means if you don't tell the truth, you lie. He says it's not only a sort of suicide in the liar, because when you are lying, you will somehow or other will have a bad effect on you and other people also. You're affecting other people. So in Buddhist terms, this is a break of the precept. When you lie, you are breaking the fourth precept, right? And not only that, you are actually in the end, you find you affect more and more people. You can affect the whole of a society. You know, like somebody lies and spread the terrible rumor. No, not true one. You go and spread until the whole community becomes so panic and they do something which is dangerous also. So you see, lying is a very terrible thing, right? So this is a wise lesson. These are famous people. It's a Buddhist teaching also. And then this another of the ancient Greek philosopher. Also talking about these liars. Liars are the cause of all the sins and crimes in the world. Boy, look at today's world, right? There are people who are so corrupted, right? They are not honest. They lie, right? In order to get benefits. They lie and cheat, you know. Lying, cheating, you find connected. Swindle people. Now you have con man, con woman also, right? And they cheat people of thousands and thousands of dollars. So that is definitely a wrong act. And why do they lie and cheat? Actually, it's basically due to greed, craving, wanting strongly something, and they don't get it in the right proper way. Stealing swindling con man lying all these things there is a price to pay. If you escape, maybe later part in the life you will get the effect. Sometimes after some years only, then the anti-corruption people catch up on you. But even if you think that you have escaped, you cannot escape the law of karma, right? So either later part when you're going to die, you have the terrible effects, or when you get reborn, you'll be reborn into a woeful suffering state. The suffering states, animal reign, right? Then you have the ghost and then the hell, these three suffering states. So remember that, tell the truth. I think you have heard the simple story of the boy who cried wolf, isn't it? Right. Now, how far that little candle throws its beams, so shines a good deed in a weary world. That is very poetic language. I'll explain it. And it's by William Shakespeare, a very, very famous author, Shakespeare's plays. I think you have heard of Shakespeare's plays like Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, Hamlet, many, many plays that have been made into movies also, right? But maybe you might study this only when you are in the secondary, right? So but this lesson are more suitable for the secondary. But there are some young ones who are very brilliant. Even as an 5 and 6, they can understand, very good, right? So, but we direct this at the youths and also the secondary Dhamma students of the Buddhist Association. So Shakespeare says that you light a candle in the darkness. You find the candle gives the light, isn't it? Right? Without the candlelight, everything is so dark and you may fall over and you try to make your way around, isn't it? So its beam can spread and it's beautiful, isn't it? So likewise, he says, in a world that is full of sorrow, suffering, and then misery, weary conditions, very tiring conditions. Somebody comes along and do a good deed, a kind person. Wow, it's just like bringing light to this weary world or weary place, right? So it gives the analogy of candle throwing the beams in the darkness, as well as a good deed, a good action of kindness, compassion, love. And then this will help the world that is suffering. Like in Africa, for example, you have heard of people that have brought fantastic good things. Like Albert Schweitzer helped with charity in Central Africa. So just like a light bringing to the darkness. So then this Leo Tolstoy is a Russian writer, very famous. He wrote War and Peace and many other important works. There is no greatness where there is no simplicity, goodness, and truth. Now he's talking about three qualities. To be great, to be a great person, these three are important. One, a very simple, honest life. No need to be very sophisticated, luxurious, wow, living a luxurious life. Is a very, very simple person. And then a good person. A good person means with virtues, morality, and then practicing truth, right? And he can practice the truth when he has the wisdom. Actually, so wisdom should be incorporated into it, and wisdom truth, right? So then there is what we call greatness, great person. Now, what about this Thor? Thor is the Greek god, mythology. You have seen some of the movies Thor. He has this hammer, right? So he also may try to fight for justice or things like that. So he says, when we can see the good and beauty in every being, we will experience much happiness and peace within. Some people they only see the weak points or a few bad points of another person. So they will never feel peaceful or happy. This the fella like that one not so good. No, if you think a bit, you say that everybody has good and also has some weaknesses, isn't it? Unless you are Buddha or Rahana. So everyone, he has some weaknesses, but he also has good points. So why can't you see the good points and the beauty also in that person's character? Then you will be more peaceful and happy. You can get along. You can even forgive him for some of his mistakes. Likewise, also for yourself. What about other people viewing you? We are not perfect, right? So when we think this way, say, oh, we also have our weaknesses, our bad points, right? So if other people can see the good in us, then they also can get along. So you must also practice the same way. It was Confucius who say, do unto others what you want others do unto yourself. What you want others to do upon you, you have to do upon others also. It's a very common sense thing, isn't it? So that is this. This one is Transformer. Transformer. I think there's some animation to keep you awake. So Carl Sagan is the astronomer from America. He says, for me, it is far better to grasp the universe as it really is than to persist in delusion, however satisfying and reassuring. It's a bit difficult, the sentence, but I'll make it very simple to you. He says, like the Dhamma, basically is to teach you to understand the universe, our life as it is, and not to resort to superstition, right? Or delusion, like having, false hopes. Like ancient people, they don't understand things as they truly are. They will pray to this god, that god. When there is thunder, they say it's due to the thunder god. Or when there is lightning, or say there's a god. Or mountain. So and then they feel that the God can protect them. But sometimes you have terrible things happen. You pray and pray, also the God cannot help you. Right? So there's a thunderstorm, there's a hurricane, isn't it? So it's only when we understand the workings of the universe and nature, and then we use our knowledge and wisdom to try to solve the problem. Right? So that's why this Carl Sagan said we must understand, right, the true nature of things, and not to be just deluded, having the wrong views, to have ignorance. You feel, okay, I pray that will be okay already. That is a wrong view already. That's what he says. And then Jack Confield, a Buddhist practitioner, he was a monk once. He said Buddhism talks about the possibility of transforming greed, hatred, and delusion. That's the most important thing in a way. One of the most important things in Buddhism is to get off the greed, cut the greed, hatred, and delusion, right? But there's this point he points out. Sometimes need turns to greed. People say, do you need this? Oh yeah, I'm very poor, no? Right, I need, right? So it's given to him. But after that, he wants more. There are people like that, no? Right? The need turns to greed. I remember in India, I was asked to go to, with the other people in the village of beggars, So we got ready our food, the money, all this. So they line up everything. Otherwise, they become wild, So the captain or the village head, so then I'll start giving. But there are some, they are in need, we know that. So we give them the thing. But after that, they cheat, they want more and more. That means the need has turned into greed. They get their things ready. Instead of leaving, they will go and queue up again, at the end. I can recognize these people and depriving others of the things, isn't it, who are in need. So be careful. Don't let your need turn into greed. Then it says here, a restless, hateful, greedy, or deluded mind. Again, it talks about greed, hatred, delusion. You will not have peace. You will not have the true happiness and peace. Right? That's a very, very important message, repeated a few times already. Right? Of course, when the mind doesn't have the Dhamma to make it calm, tranquil, concentrated, focused, always restless. When you're restless, can you have peace? You cannot, no? Very restless, gelisah. And then you'll be sometimes very agitated, easily get angry, restless mind. So through the Dhamma, you learn to overcome this, overcome the greed, hatred, and the delusion. Then you are in for the good peace. So that is the end of the presentation, I think. So now we come to the final slide already. So now we come to the final slide, and you probably will see these superheroes, right? I think you like to see the superheroes. I think you can recognize them. Some of them are Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash. I don't know whether this is Green Lantern or Batman. All right. So whatever it is, we get this point that if you are going to be a superhero, you must have goodness in your mind, in your heart. You must always ready, have that heart to help people in need, isn't it? That's what the superheroes are for. Even though they are not really true, they are based on the comics, but the lessons they give are very good, isn't it? That's why I put the life lesson thoughts for them. So you are a true hero. It's not that you are very good at karate or taekwondo. That's not the true hero. The true hero is one whose mind and heart are very, very good. They have the good qualities. You know what are good qualities? A lot of metta, compassion, willing to help and serve people selflessly, not selfish, not self-centered. He's very generous, right? And he's very forgiving, right? And then he also can get along well with people. And you can become a superhero if you practice the Dhamma well. To practice it well, you have to learn it, and then understand it, isn't it? Think about it, and then practice it. And you will see the good things coming, and you'll be peaceful, happy, right? So we make the aspiration, may all people live in peace and harmony, right? And you, as a superhero, will try to make this happen. Even though not the whole world, but maybe peace and harmony in your family, in your school, your classroom, or in the society. Do your part, even though it's a small part. So we have to spread a loving kindness to every being, metta to every being. I think I've talked to you about metta bhavana, and to blissful states we shall then be heading. Which means if you practice metta, then you will be happy in your mind, not only this life, but in future lives also. All right. So we have come to the end of this. So before we say sadhu, I'd like to thank all the students, secondary students, and the teachers, and also the youths who happen to be watching, and also parents, grandparents, all right, who want to also teach their children or grandchildren. So I'd like to thank all of them for taking time and putting in the effort to follow this almost 1 hour of discussion. So let us say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So you see the bell has gone for 1 hour. So just nice. So may you all be well, happy, and peaceful.